Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast, and we are back at it again. Talking best ball, talking ADPs that we fucking hate. I got the Craft Man with me, as always. What's going on, Craft Man?
Same old thing, man. Just we're getting into the hate again. We love doing this, don't we?
Man, Craft, I just love fucking hating, man. I love to talk some of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Every other episode, we're like, what should we talk about today? It's like, let's talk about some shit that we fucking hate. The next episode is going to be, I think the next episode is going to be hate too, ain't it?
I just want to get on the pod and talk my shit. You know what I mean? I just want to get on here. Oh, man. Yeah. So today I ain't going to hate too much. There's just a few players in the ADP's best ball, because me and Kraft, it's best ball season. Follow me at Crew Matt Hamm. Follow him at Craft Man Pack Fan. And a 5-star review on our podcast, wherever you're watching. And that reminds me, peeps, let us know, man. If there's a place you get podcasts and you can't find our podcast on there, let me know. We'll get that thing on there. But tonight we're talking about ADPs I do not like. I got a few players. I only got about 5 or 6. Not like the ones, because me and you were positive. So when we was doing that ADP love episode, just throwing out names left and right, man. We love this guy. Love for that guy. Tonight, I'm dishing out the hate.
I'm with you. We're gonna throw it out there for everybody to hear.
All right, so fuck
everybody
it.
knows who we are not drafting.
Yep, avoid these players. Wah. Don't draft these guys in best ball. And the first one you don't draft is motherfucking Devontae Adams. And look, Craft Man, I was fading Devontae Adams just last season. I was fading him. This year feels more like, hey, I can fade this guy and be right about it. Right now, he's going as the wide receiver 9. His ADP is 13.5. I've been seeing him go in the first round. I'm seeing him going early second. But this is what gets me, though. Devontae Adams is going ahead of Amon-Ra, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave. And to me, it just smells like a little bit of trouble up there in Las Vegas. We got old Jimmy G's up in there. And I was fading Devontae Adams even with Jimmy G up there. Now he's gotten himself into some physical. What did he do? He can't pass the physicals because the man's hurt, which I've heard that was to be expected. They signed him anyways. I don't think Vegas really gives a fuck. Jimmy G will definitely be starting this year. That's what I would think. And I'm still fading Devontae. And if he's not, and if we have a worst case scenario, they're gonna throw in Aiden O'Connell or whoever the fuck is up there, or Brian Hoyer. Ain't somebody old like that over there right now?
I don't even know. Jarrett Stidham's gone, right?
Yeah, Stidham's over there in Denver, about to take over for us. So it just smells like a lot of trouble over there with Las Vegas. There's nothing more to me to say. There's just the players that I would clearly take Waddle over Devontae, and I would clearly take Garrett. Well, heck, I don't even know. Amon-Ra. There's a lot of players I'll take ahead of Devontae right now.
Yeah. Not me, guy. I'm still on Devontae just because who you got there? Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow still, Darren Waller's gone. The quarterback play is going to be pretty not as good, but Devontae Adams is still going to get like 13, 15 targets a game. He's still going to eat. I'm fine with Adams there. Would you take Adams or Diggs?
Oh,
Diggs.
Man, that's not even close.
You take Olave over Adams in redraft?
Yeah. You gotta go off with Derek Carr.
You're out of here.
Hey, Derek Carr supported Devontae Adams last year. Chris Olave about to get that support this year. He always hyper targets.
You need to smoke a little bit because I guess you sobered up tonight and like you've been saying some crazy ass shit.
Hey, for those who don't know, man, these best ball episodes you're seeing the sober Matt Hamm and the sober Craft Man. Not too many episodes like this.
No.
So,
on a Tuesday night.
I might be saying some crazy shit. I don't know. But Devontae Adams, like, You can. I'll take Devontae Smith over Devontae Adams. He ain't even the top
You're
Devontae.
crazy. You're crazy.
So give me. I'll take a few other Devontaes. Throw me a Javante. It don't even matter. I'm taking him over Devontae. Cut him out. Fade him. Don't draft Devontae in best ball.
So, where do you think Devontae Adams is going to finish this year? When we do our wide receiver rankings, you're going to have him ranked below Olave?
Oh, without question. There's no doubt.
T. Higgins?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think. What's the cutoff for Devontae? Like,
Is it T. Higgins, I guess?
I could see. I'll take Devontae over Calvin Ridley and Debo. How about that?
I don't think people.
DK Metcalf or Devontae Adams?
I think we should start the episode off, edit this shit out, because I don't know, man. I don't know if this is good content right here.
You think Devontae Adams is gonna have a better year than DK Metcalf?
Yes, I do. DK is one of the most overrated, overdrafted players year in and year out. He can barely get to wide receiver 15. Devontae Adams is like wide receiver 1 to 3 every year for the last 5 years.
Not this year, though. Not this year.
I mean, I get it. Jimmy G's there, but
hold on. But I don't think people understand that because there's a lot of Derek Carr hate out there, and I've indulged in it some myself. But it's a huge drop off from Derek Carr to Jimmy G. Huge.
I mean,
Derek Carr is clearly better.
It's a decent drop off, but I feel like Adams is one of them guys that's just going to perform with whoever the hell's out there.
If anything, I'd say he's going to throw it to Michael Mayer. He's going to hit Jacoby.
No.
Yeah, to be honest, this whole thing's just going. In fact, I'm going to call it now. McDaniels out after this year. Devontae out after this year. He ain't going to stay in Vegas. I know he wants out right now. He don't even want to be there. Pushing cameraman and shit.
That's heart. That's heart.
I love Devontae Adams, though. I do think he's like, in real life, he's probably like a top 2 or 3 guy right now, even today. But it's just time to fade.
But Olave is better at this point in time, and T. Higgins.
I ain't gonna say talent wise, but his situation is way better. Way
better.
How
could you possibly put Devontae Smith over Devontae Adams? How could you possibly do that?
He finished as the wide receiver 9 just last season. And
so?
Well, I mean, I don't see that getting any worse. I see Devontae's situation getting way worse.
I mean,
we talking about maybe Aiden O'Connell's out there.
He's a wide receiver 2 on that team. Devontae Adams is going to get 15 targets a game.
There's a lot of wide receiver 2s I'll take off the number 1 guy. I'll take a number 2. I'll take Higgins, Devontae. A lot of these guys over the number 1 guy on some teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Devontae just happens to be that guy.
Number 1 is not Devontae Adams, or Cooper Kupp, or Justin Jefferson, or in that tier, Stephon Diggs. Like, you're not taking the number 2s over them guys.
Ooh,
well, you are. I'm not.
Devontae ain't in that tier for me. Not this year. That tier you talking about, that's a total different stratosphere right there. Stephon Diggs and Devontae this year. This might be my most controversial take of the redraft season when we get in that, I guess.
Let's put a bet. Let's put a bet on it this year that I like Devontae Adams to outscore Diggs.
What? Throw it on it. Whatever you want to bet.
Let's do it.
Give me one of them motherfucking jerseys that you be dishing out. Those little.
Diggs gonna be bitching and complaining the whole year. He's already whining.
Yeah. I know, man. Diggs. What a diva, bro. I'm just being real, man. Dude's always whining and complaining about something.
And they're going to get Hopkins, too. So how you going to feel about Diggs when they get Hopkins?
They restructured his deal, and then they couldn't bring him in. That's already swung and a miss. That's why Diggs is bitching right now, because the dude restructured his deal, that big old deal. It cleared his cap space for D-Hop, and then they couldn't even get him. That's really what he's mad about, allegedly. Him and it ain't some shit that went down with Josh Allen at the end of the year or whatever. Like, he's going to talk shit about his quarterback. Like, that's just what quarterbacks have to deal with, man. That's just part of the job. So, all right. Well, Devontae Adams, I might be the only one out there who believes this one, but Craftman, what you got for me?
We're gonna mention his name one more time, but it's Calvin Ridley. We ain't got to talk about it long. He's the wide receiver 16 in best ball. And sometimes I just be at work driving down the road and a thought crosses my mind, and it's Calvin Ridley. And I just feel like breaking everything in that fucking truck. It's like, what are you doing, Calvin Ridley, at wide receiver 16? Go back there, grab boxes, throw them around, calm down a little bit. Everything's good. But no, not doing it. Absolutely not.
Definitely not buying into the Calvin Ridley hype this year. Yeah, don't just walk onto an NFL football field and then just your wide receiver one. So there's nothing for me to say about Calvin Ridley. I'm just being honest. He's just drafted too high. I think Calvin Ridley's good though. I think he's going to probably have a good season this year. But
yeah, he's just a tier below Devontae Adams. That was sarcasm.
I'm just looking at the list of shit. But yeah, Calvin Ridley, I agree with you 100%. Well, I got another one then. How about, since he's right there in ADP, I got old Debo up in there. And you know what, Debo, I've been kind of holding out hope for Debo and still saying that, I can see a top 12 year for Debo. I was saying that at the end of last year, like, it ain't over yet. You know what? I just can't help it, man. I want to fade him. I want to fade them all. I mean, Debo's having, first of all, he's got in that, what was it, wide receiver 2 year, he was getting all these carries and all that shit. That ain't happening. Christian McCaffrey's there. He's pretty much taking over that Debo role, but a running back from the running back. He's like the running back Debo. I don't know. I'm just saying shit. But he's taking over that role. And then Debo's got competition with Brandon Ayuk. I do like Ayuk. He's talented or whatever. But I don't really want none of those receivers. I like George Kittle. He's the man there. And if Brock Purdy's there, he's really the man George Kittle is. So I got to fade Debo. Yeah. He's never getting the rush attempts. He's got a lot of competition. Fade him.
I'm with you. I hadn't got Debo in anything either because I think the narrative around Debo is that he's a big play guy, which in 2022, when he finished as wide receiver 2, like you said he was averaging 18 yards a catch. But last year, dropped all the way down to 11 yards a catch. He's still, when you watch Debo play, he's slippery. He's slathered in butter every time he goes out on the field. Can't nobody tackle him. Breaks a trillion tackles every time he touches the ball. But just give me Ayuk. Give me Ayuk later. I feel like they both have the same probably finish this year. I wouldn't imagine they're going to be that far apart, but in ADP, they're a decent bit apart. So I just haven't been getting Debo in anything based on the weapons that are there in San Fran. And just there's going to be games where he's not relevant at all.
Yeah. I see there's probably a little, I can't say. I just think there's probably a little more value for Debo in best ball situations than other situations,
Yeah.
Nothing more I can really say about Debo. Just a lot of competition, going a little bit too high for my liking, but still a good player. What you got for me though, Crab?
Well, another one of my main hate players is Michael Pittman. Can't do it. And I just want to reiterate, I do not dislike Anthony Richardson. I mean, I actually like him. I hope he's going to be good, but this year is going to be rough. It's going to be very, very hard for Colts wide receivers. Maybe 2 years from now, if he progresses, it could be better. But this year, there's just no way Michael Pittman is going to finish in like the top 17, 18 receivers. I don't even see him finishing the top 24. Not even close.
Just was on the phone with the poor man P. Miller today, and we was kind of talking about Michael Pittman, and I just straight up said I'm fading everybody on the Colts because I'm not really. Let's see, Michael Pittman. I just think he's going to take a step back. Josh Downs, I really wasn't high on him in the rookie process. Some people are high on all these guys. JT, I got him on my list right here. I'm kind of fading him a little bit. All these guys I'm fading because I just. This is what I gotta ask the people that are out there on Twitter and all that shit. is like, what do you think's really about to happen with this Anthony Richardson situation? Because if his upside is the rushing upside, and we're all talking about the rushing this, rushing that, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. How is he gonna support receivers and stuff? This dude's supposed to support 2 wide receivers and rush in his rookie year. I mean, like, I don't know. To me, that just doesn't make sense. I think people are thinking Anthony Richardson, he's gonna go off, so let me get these wide receivers on his team, and let me go get his tight end and whoever the fuck
Yeah.
else. So I don't know, man. That's just one of those things. Like, I'm fading Michael Pittman. Downs ain't on my radar. Same with
Yeah.
JT. I might have to fade him too.
Yeah, I mean, if you just put it in statistics, how many passing yards do you think Anthony Richardson possibly could have this year? Like the high end, like 2,500, maybe 3,000.
It ain't a
If it's a
lot.
great year, if it's 2,500, Michael Pittman will have to get 50% of those yards and the touchdowns to have 1,000 yards and like 8 touchdowns. So, and that's still not even a great year. 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, but your quarterbacks. I mean, you got like Patrick Mahomes out there throwing for 5,000 yards, and he still didn't have like a number 1 receiver on his team. What do you think is going to happen when Richardson throws for 2,500, and it's getting spread around? Because it's not going to be all Pittman. He ain't going to get 50% of the targets.
A lot of Anthony Richardson propaganda out there. Somehow turned us into the Anthony Richardson hate segment, but I wish we're gonna have to get back on YouTube so they can see my face when you talk about I don't hate Anthony Richardson. Hating ass, man. What podcast?
I don't like him this year at all.
What podcast has hated more on Anthony Richardson than us?
When we did his college tape, it was rough. Like when we were just doing talent, like just pocket presence and accuracy. Man, throwing for like 55% completion percentage in college,
And he's supposed to just be accuracy, just dinking it to Michael Pittman and Downs, like I don't know, man.
Overnight, just accurate as hell.
A lot of Anthony Richardson propaganda out there, y'all. All right, the next one I got another one, and I just some of the shit we talk about kind of spilling over to the ideas I got for the crew versus Twitter, but Jerry Jeudy, he's going way too high. I don't even know where. Let me go. I got to look at my list right now. Jerry Jeudy, he's going ahead of. I mean, another year. He's going ahead of Drake London, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin. I don't know, man. I just this one right here just really just grinds my gears. Just irks me a little bit. There's a couple of them out there, like the Cam Akers one. Like I ain't even gonna address Cam Akers. Like I've had to be right about him for so long. Jerry Jeudy, I haven't really had to fight too much, but are we seriously waiting for the Jerry Jeudy breakout again? This dude was a top 10 wide receiver. The dude ain't done shit. He ain't done shit. And everybody's like, well, he ain't had the QB. Like, even DJ Moore has done more than Jerry Jeudy over the past whatever years, 4 years. Jerry Jeudy hasn't been the same since that national championship when A.J. Terrell shut his ass down. And he ain't been the same, man. The Jerry Jeudy one it's really wild to me. Just because I think the reason why the hype is there because he had a little stint at the end of the year. I think he had that one game with 3 touchdowns.
He just had excuses with the quarterback play and a couple injury stints where he was out for 4 or 5 weeks. And I was on Cortland Sutton last year, didn't work out. A lot of people were on Jerry Jeudy. I guess it worked out a little better than Sutton, but wasn't nobody just raving about what happened. This is one guy that has just stayed. His hype has just kept on rolling year in and year out in every offseason, and it just has not panned out. But
crap, he's going ahead of. I cannot justify Jerry Jeudy going ahead of Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Christian Kirk, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin. I just can't justify it, man. It's insane.
Not Ayuk and Godwin for sure. London is, I don't know, that's a toss-up. I like London's talent better, but that Atlanta offense, I'm not high on Pitts. I'm not high on London just because I think Ritter is booty. And I think that Atlanta's going to run the ball a lot.
Another thing about, with Sean Payton's first draft pick this year, he traded up and grabbed a wide receiver.
Yeah, Marvin Mims.
So it's like, I don't know, man. The Jerry Jeudy one is a little wild to me. Some of these players, it's crazy. It's like when you look at the media and Twitter, some players just get so much love and some players get so much hate. Jerry Jeudy gets a lot of love for nothing. For nothing. So I'm done talking about him.
No, you're not. We'll have to talk about him when we do our redraft rankings, and you have him at like wide receiver 55.
Gonna have to say something about his ass. Shit. I only got one more player though, Crash. So throw me a few of them you got.
I got James Cook. I have not drafted James Cook anywhere, anytime. He's going as RB30 in best ball right now. The Bills do not throw the ball to running backs. I'm a Georgia fan. I watched James Cook. I've watched him for 3 years for Georgia. He's a pass catching running back. That's it. He's got some explosiveness. He can carry the ball maybe 10 times a game in between the tackles. He's not getting goal line work. He's not going to get that much passing work this year. The floor is very low, and everybody wants to hate on Devon A-Chain and he's too small and all this crap. James Cook is about the same damn size. He's tiny. I don't know his exact weight. I can look it up on Sleeper, but he's sub 200 pounds for sure. Jahmyr Gibbs is not a comparison to James Cook. Jahmyr Gibbs is much more explosive, can run between the tackles a lot better. I'm just not high on James Cook. If he played for the Lions, where they had Jared Goff dumping the ball down a lot, I would be much higher on him. I don't hate the talent, but this is just a team. It'd be like if he was with the Ravens. I mean, they just don't throw the ball to the running backs, and Damian Harris and Josh Allen are going to get all the goal line work.
Yep. Heck, and I like Damian Harris anyways. He wasn't even bad in New England. He got hurt last year. I think literally just last year, Damian Harris had like 15 touchdowns or something. It was double digits, though. I don't know how much it was. So,
I like him more. I like him more than James Cook this year. Damian Harris going as RB38. And like I said, James Cook going as RB30. Just give me Harris.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more. What else you got for me, Crab Man?
TJ Hawkinson.
What? You ain't the only person I've heard say that.
I just don't like the tight end three thing. I'm not paying up at ADP. Where you at, Hawkinson? I'm still looking at Trey McBride from last time. He's way down there. Going at ADP 50, so you're going to have to get him in the fourth? Start of the fifth?
Start of the fifth.
Start of the fifth round. I don't think that's terrible ADP. It's just I personally just want to get either Goddard or Darren Waller like 30 picks later. Right. And Hawkinson, he was the tight end 3 last year, maybe tight end 2, but they just brought in Jordan Addison, who I think is going to be a safety blanket for Kirk Cousins. He's going to play pretty close to the line of scrimmage a lot. Hawkinson's still going to be okay, but I just can't justify taking Hawkinson at that spot when there's so many good, when you have to build your running back depth and your receiver depth at that time. Because I've always been great or late, and the great tight ends are Andrews and Kelsey. And then after that, you can go late. And there's still good value with Goddard and Kittle compared to what you're going to get out of Hawkinson. He's going to have to really outperform them guys to really make a statement. And I just don't see there being that much of a gap between him, Kittle, Goddard, and them guys. That's just me, though.
Yep. That's going to be one that we just... I don't know. A lot of people are fading Hawkinson. I don't think Addison really... I'm high on Addison, but I don't think he's... I don't know, man. I'm still good with Hawkinson. Tight end 3 might be a little rich, maybe, but... I'm with you. I think the most tight ends that I'm always grabbing is Goddard. I haven't really grabbed Waller. And But yeah, I'm with you. Oh, we'll agree to disagree on that one. You got any more for me?
What do you think Addison's role is going to be in that offense this year? Do you think he's going to be more of a deep threat? Do you think he's going to be?
I think I just think he's gonna go off,
You think I'm
man.
playing the slot a lot?
Yeah, flat. That's what I
That's
say.
kind of what I see. So I don't know. I see a lot of potential with Addison, and it's gonna hurt Hawkinson. So
With that said, I did listen to a guy on, let's see, I want to say the Dynasty Dummies or something. I think it was them. He was talking about how he goes for slot receivers that can get a lot of targets. That's where a lot of the money's made. Those slot targets or whatever I'm trying to say. Crap, I got just one more name, and I'm not gonna say too much about it because we kind of went on to it earlier. Is Jonathan Taylor? I'm faded Jonathan Taylor this year. I don't know if anybody else is. He's going at, let's see, RB4. And this really doesn't even have nothing to do with Jonathan Taylor. I just went on that little rant with you earlier, hating on Richardson. I'm fading everybody. Well, I'm fading Jonathan Taylor too. The dude's not about to get. I don't mean. Let's see. The year he went off, I think he had 40 receptions. I think last year he had 28. That's off the top of my brain. I could be wrong. I don't see him getting all them targets this year. I don't see the offense being good this year. So I'm just fading Jonathan Taylor. Like, he's going ahead of guys that people are pretty high on, like Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, uh, Tony Pollard. I don't know if I'd take Tony Pollard that high over JT like that, but I I think there's an argument where you could take Chubb and Barkley over JT this season, though.
yeah, where's JT's ADP in best
He's
ball right now?
he's going at 16.4. He's the fourth RB off the board. And I ain't even saying that I hate it. Like, I ain't like that Devontae where I'm just fading that dude off the board. I'm just saying there's a couple running backs I'll take before Jonathan Taylor. And really just Chubb and Saquon. Saquon mainly. And, I'd probably take a couple of these wide receivers like Chris Olave, Devontae Smith. I'm taking them guys over JT. Patty Mahomes for sure. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, there's two guys that I'd like to mention with the JT. JT's going at 16. Going to be a bad offense. Derrick Henry's going 9 picks after him, and Josh Jacobs is going 12 picks after. So a full round after Taylor. And I mean, Josh Jacobs outperformed Jonathan Taylor last year. Taylor was hurt a little bit, but both going to be bad offenses. Josh Jacobs is going to receive a lot more dump off passes from Garoppolo than Jonathan Taylor's getting from Richardson around the goal line. Richardson's going to steal some work if he's still starting at the time. And, just Derrick Henry too. I'd rather have Henry. Henry's been kind of just faded into a weird place.
Right. Yeah.
As an RB8.
Ooh, go ahead and take a shot on that on Derrick Henry. Might as well. I haven't taken any Derrick Henrys, but might as well. Any more hating we got to do tonight?
No, I'm good with the hate. One I didn't mention last episode. I know we ain't talking about it, but I really like Keenan Allen this year in best ball. So been getting him a lot. Is there some players that you want to mention at the end of this episode? Just who you just got a lot of?
I kind of did that last episode. Talk about Hodgins. I got a lot of him and a lot of those guys. There's just a couple that I want to just say, keep your eye on because shit might go crazy. And like Jahmyr Gibbs, dude's going here at RB14. If he's what I think he's going to be, this is a steal, even in his rookie year. So that's just something to keep an eye on. I haven't even drafted Jahmyr Gibbs not one time. Hadn't had the chance to, but
yeah,
just somebody like that, that could really, fuck it up this year. I mean, I think Jahmyr Gibbs, he's the next Austin Eckler. Quote me on it.
Well, here's a couple guys going close to each other. Tell me which ones you'd take. Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
All right. J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders.
See that's a tough man. I would just switch it on up. I'd probably lean Miles Sanders because I'm thinking that dude's about to catch like 50 balls this year. J.K. Dobbins, we'll see. They talking that talk, but we'll see what they do in the receiving. I do think Dobbins is good enough to get a lot of the receiving work. I think he's good enough, and I think Todd Monken's coming in there and they're gonna try to, put that in their offense. But we got to see it. You could talk all you want to. I know Miles Sanders could catch the ball. I think they really about to do that shit in Carolina with Bryce Young. So
Yeah, they are. He should have a great year. What about Samaje P. Ryan or Brian Robinson?
give me some Majay. Oh, that's another one. That's another one of poor P. Miller's guys. Some P.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Is there any way that I was thinking about it today in best ball? Is it a good idea to draft, say, like Javonte Williams and Samaje P. Ryan, or is that not a good strategy in best ball?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I've been staying away from Javante, but because Javante to me is more like a buy low and dynasty type deals. But as far as like redraft and best ball, I think it could go better than what I think this all might go a little bit smoother than what went down with Dobbins, but I'm still not banking on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just staying away. That's all I can say. He gets to a certain point, obviously I'll take him, but mostly everybody's taking him, so I don't even have to make that decision. So,
All right. What about Damian Harris or Rashad Penny?
give me Damian Harris all day. In
Would you take
fact, while we
Damian?
on it, while we talk about Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift, go out there and pick up Kenny Gainwell off your waivers if y'all don't mind. Go ahead and do that. Be the only healthy running back there.
you're probably right about that one. Elijah Moore or one of the Ravens receivers? Anyone you want.
Man, that's tough because I think Elijah Moore is going around the same spot Bateman is, right? Is that
Yeah,
true?
one spot, and Zay Flowers is one. They're all back to back to back, 44, 45, 46.
You know, I'm kind of buying into Elijah Moore a little bit. I think I will take Bateman because he's just another one of the guys that ain't did shit, but I just hate on him less than the others. So Rashad Bateman, if his little rookie profile is all good and he's really as good as it's like those with Treylon. If he's as good as everybody says he is, let's see it. I mean, if he can stay healthy for a year, I can see him going off. You want to know what's really going to happen with Rashad Bateman this year? I think this year he's just going to have like a bunch of good games where he just kind of like teases you a little bit, make you want to stay relevant or whatever. He's already doing that to me right now. So
Yeah.
I think something like that's going to happen next year.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened last year. He gonna pull the Gabe Davis on our ass. The next Gabe Davis. One more, and we can call it quits. Quentin Johnston or Brandon Cooks?
I'm taking Quentin Johnston. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little shot on the rookie. I do think Brandon Cooks will have a decent year, though. You know what? I'm gonna have to think about that one. Brandon Cooks with Dak. I know they brought in old Lombardi or whoever the hell they brought in, but if I recall correctly, when that dude was over there in Los Angeles, that man Herbert was still chunking the ball a ton of times.
I don't think his name is Lombardi.
What's his name? I can't think of his name. Didn't they
I
just get
can't
him
think of his name.
from? Didn't Dallas and Los Angeles just swap coordinators? Did that happen?
I forget his name, but
Well, look, don't quote me on that one. But I'll put it like this: they are talking about how they want to run the ball, but their transactions and moves are not exactly going that direction. It looks like they're about to throw the ball still. So Brandon Cooks, he's gonna have a good year next to CD.
I think so
tough.
too. Unless they bring in another running back, bring Zeke back.
Go ahead and bring Dalvin and let
Kill
him eat in
Pollard.
Dallas.
Just kill Pollard.
Ooh.
Please don't bring Dalvin. Kill Pollard.
I love that for my home league, Dalvin. Go to Denver or Dallas.
I want them to bring in like Fournette and let Pollard just still eat and just have Fournette run around out there for 25% of the snaps or something.
My gut feeling is they bring Zeke back for low money.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Well, shoot, man, we gonna wrap it on up. Thanks for listening to the podcast. For real, everybody. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Definitely had a jump up in viewers this summer, this off season. So me and the Craft Man, Chris, Akil, Dunk, Lee. Who else been on the pod? Ian, Noah Dick Blower. Thanks for checking us all out. We just out there throwing out some content, talking about the fake shit. Add me at Crew Matt Hamm. Add him at Craft Man Pack Fan. Anything else we got to say, Craft?
We good. Getting ready for a redraft very soon.
Can't wait, man. We're going to be... Man, I can't wait to get into some redraft content with the Craft Man. We really gonna knock it down this year, man. So thanks for listening. 5-star review. But we out.
Peace.